into two categories, that is separately excited DC machine and self-excited DC machine. Again, machines means we can say that motor as well as a generator. Means separately excited DC motor, self-excited DC motor, or separately excited DC generator or self-excited DC generator. Now, in separately excited DC machine means there is no electrical connection between field winding and armature winding. Both are separately excited from the separate DC source. So that machine is called as a separately excited DC machine. Now, in case of self-excited DC machine, again there are three types of self-excited DC machine. That is DC shunt machine, DC series machine, and DC compound. That is the DC shunt motor, DC series motor, and DC compound motor. Compound motor are also having two types, that is long shunt compound motor and short shunt compound motor. As the name suggested, shunt means parallel. So in DC shunt motor, both field winding and armature windings are connected in parallel, whereas in case of DC series motor, both both field winding and armature windings are connected in series. Now, compound motor is the combination of series as well as shunt motor. So, in case of compound motor, there are totally three winding. One is armature winding, second one is the shunt field, and third is the series field. So these are the three windings present in compound motor. First is the armature winding, second one is the shunt field winding, and third one is the series field winding. Whereas in case of DC shunt and DC series motor, there are only two windings, armature winding and field winding, armature winding and field winding. When they are connected in parallel, the motor is called as a shunt motor. When these two windings are connected in series, the motor is called as a DC series motor. So now short shunt compound motor and long shunt compound motor. So in case of short shunt compound motor, the series and shunt field windings are connected. The armature winding and series field windings are connected in series, whereas the shunt field winding is connected across the armature circuit only. That's why this motor is called as a short shunt compound motor. Now, in case of long shunt compound motor, the series field winding and armature both are connected in series, whereas the shunt field windings are connected across series as well as armature circuit. That's why this motor is called as a long shunt compound motor. So depending upon the according to type of connection of the shunt field winding, the compound motor is categorized into two types, that is long shunt compound motor and short shunt compound motor. Now the same the working principle I earlier explained. DC generator, working principle of DC generator. So it is a device which converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. That's why it is called as generator. Now, to design, yes, please wait. Now, for the generator, basically there are three requirements. There should be conductor, magnetic flux, and mechanical energy. According to working principle of generator, Whenever conductor cuts, the magnetic flux and EMF is induced in it. So if we have to design a generator, we need basically three essential requirements. That is, first is conductor, which will cuts the magnetic flux, and when it will cuts the magnetic flux, when there is a relative motion between conductor and magnetic flux. For that we need a rotational mechanical energy which rotates the stationary armature conductors. Whenever the stationary, when with the help of mechanical input, rotational mechanical input, the armature conductor cuts the magnetic flux, and due to which an electrical energy or is generated in the armature conductor. Now, this is the working principle. Whenever conductor move in a magnetic field, an EMF is induced, and the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change of flux linked with the conductor. Now, this is the internal assembly of the construction diagram of the DC machine. The outer body is called as yoke. This indicates the commutator. Commutator is a device which allow an external circuit to give the supply to the armature conductor when it is work as a motor, and same when it is work as a generator. So it is help to collect the electrical energy generated from the armature circuit and provide to the external load. This is the sectional view of DC machine. All the parts are labeled here. This is the field winding. This is field pole. This is interpole. And this is commutator. And the outer body is called as yoke or frame, which provide the mechanical strength to the internal parts of the motor. This is the field winding, rotational armature. Working principle we have already covered here. Now next is the EMF equation. EMF equation of DC machine. Now phi is the flux per pole in Weber. Z is the total number of armature conductor, number of poles. A is number of parallel path. N is armature speed in RPM, and Eg is the generated EMF. So we are assuming this term. I am repeating again. Phi is flux per pole. Z is total number of armature conductor. P number of poles. A is number of parallel path. N armature speed in RPM. Eg EMF generated in any of the parallel path. Now flux cut by one conductor in one revolutions, that is phi multiplied by number of P. Now for one complete revolution, if phi is the flux produced by one pole, let phi is the flux produced by per pole. So in one revolutions, how much amount of flux cut by a single conductor? It should be multiplied by P. Why it is multiplied by P? Suppose this is the motor and it is designed for 4 pole, and this is the armatures. So if it is a conductor marked from the green point. And for one complete rotation of 360 degree, how many poles, how many number of poles flux cut by this conductor is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if the flux produced by one pole is 5, so total flux linked by this conductor is flux phi multiplied by number of pole is 4, means it is phi multiplied by p, that is phi p. So total flux linkage in one complete revolution by one conductor is flux multiplied with number of poles. Now flux cut by one conductor in 60 seconds. In 60 seconds means it should be divided by 60 degree. Now average EMF generated in one conductor is phi Pn upon 60. Now this is the EMF, average EMF generated in one conductor. Now number of conductor in each parallel path is Z divided by A. The total number of conductor को क्या करना पड़ेगा, it should be multiplied with Z upon A. So Eg equal to क्या हो जाएगा फिर, Eg equal to pi P n upon 60 into P upon A. Pi Z n upon 60. It is pi Z n upon 60 into P by A. Now, there are two types of windings generally used in the DC machine, that is lap winding and wave winding. So for lap winding, A equal to P, and for wave winding A equal to 2. So by using these two values for lap and wave winding, we can calculate the generated EMF in the armature conductor. Now we have already covered this topic, types of DC generator and series wound generator, shunt wound generator and compound wound generator. Compound wound generator is also having two types, long shunt compound generator and short shunt compound generator. Then DC motor, same type. Now this is the important topic, torque, slip, torque, armature current characteristics. Now we know that power P is equal to torque into omega, or P equal to torque into 2 pi n divided by 60. पावर का फॉर्मूला क्या होगा इन इलेक्ट्रिकल टर्म्स, पावर इज नथिंग बट EB into IA is equal to T 2 pi n upon 60. Now what is constant here?
2 pi upon 60.
2 pi upon 60 is a constant term. Now EB की वैल्यू क्या थी? What is EB here? Previously we have calculated. It is pi Z N upon 60 into P upon A into IA is equal to T into 2 pi N upon 60. Is something is cancel here? 60 to 60 cancel. N to N cancel. Okay. Now P is number of poles. Once the motor is designed, it is constant. A is number of parallel path. It is also constant. Z, once the winding is designed, it is also constant. So if you are separating this constant term in proportionality constant, so we can say that torque is directly proportional to flux into armature current. The rest of the things are constant. P is constant, armature number of parallel path A is also constant. Depending upon the loading condition, flux and armature current is a variable term. 2 pi is also constant. So we get the equation here, torque is directly proportional to flux into armature current. Now another term from the equation of back EMF EB is nothing but equal to phi Zn upon 60 P upon A. Now what are the constant term here with respect to for this back EMF? In the equation of back EMF, what are the various constant term?
Z.
Z is constant, PA is
60.
constant, 60 is constant. So we can say that back EMF EB is directly proportional to flux into speed. So by using these two equations, okay, we can draw the various characteristics of DC motor. Now we can separately write this equation. And we can draw the various characteristics for the DC motor. We'll get the first equation that torque is directly proportional to flux into armature current, and the second equation back EMF EB is directly proportional to flux into speed. Now by using these two equations, we have to draw the various characteristics for DC series and DC shunt motor. Now first we are considering the DC shunt motor. Now why shunt motor means field winding and armature winding both are connected in parallel. So this is the field winding which is connected in parallel with the armature winding. That's why this motor is called as a shunt motor. Now by using these two equations, we have to draw the characteristics. First is torque versus armature current characteristics. Means we have to find out the relation between torque and armature current for the DC shunt motor. First characteristic. Now from this equation, first equation is torque is directly proportional to flux into armature current. Now for the DC shunt motor, the field winding is directly connected in parallel with the supply voltage. If the supply voltage is constant, it means field current is also constant. And if the field current is constant, it means the flux produced by the field winding is also constant for the DC shunt motor. So main reason why the flux is constant in DC motor, because if the supply voltage, if you are taking constant voltage system and if the voltage is supplied voltage is constant, it means the current which is flowing in the field winding is also constant, that is ISH is constant. So when the ISH is constant, it means the flux produced by the field winding is also constant. So for DC shunt motor, torque is directly proportional to armature current only. It means if the armature current changes, torque is also changed. So for DC shunt motor, the torque armature current characteristics will be like this. This is the armature current, and on y-axis it is torque. So when the armature current is zero, torque is also zero, and as we are increasing the value of armature current, torque is also increased. So it will show the characteristics like this. Clear? Yes, shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Now, second characteristics for the DC shunt motor, for the second characteristics, it is speed versus armature current characteristics. Now we have the relation we have the relation EB is directly proportional to flux into speed. है ना, ये relation अभी हमने यहाँ पे find out किया है. EB is directly proportional to flux into speed. So from that relation, we can say that N is directly proportional to EB upon phi. Since the flux is constant, as we told earlier, है ना, ये यहाँ पे हमने फ्लक्स को कांस्टेंट कंसीडर किया. सो इफ द फ्लक्स इज कांस्टेंट, इट मींस n is directly proportional to EB only. N is directly proportional to EB. And what is the equation of back EMF for DC shunt motor in terms of armature voltage and armature current? We have the equation that EB is equal to V minus IA RA. EB equal to V minus IA RA. So from this equation, we can say that if the value of armature current increases, what is the effect on back EMF? If we increase the value of armature current, what is the effect on back EMF? It will increase or decrease? It will decrease, because this voltage is constant. So if the value of armature current increases, it means IARA voltage drop will increase, and if the voltage drop will increase, back EMF will decrease. So if we are increasing the value of armature current, the back EMF will decrease, and if the back EMF will decrease, speed is also decrease. So it will show the characteristics like this. This is armature current and this is N. Now, when the value of armature current is zero, speed back EMF is directly proportional to the voltage V only, and when the voltage is constant, means when this is the value of speed when armature current is zero, and when the value of armature current increases, speed will decreases gradually like this. Clear? This is the second characteristics. And third characteristics is speed torque characteristics. Very important. Speed versus torque characteristics. Now here we have the relation N is directly proportional to EB upon phi. Again, flux is constant, so N is directly proportional to EB. But we know that from this relation, torque and current are directly proportional to each other. It means when the current decreases, torque is also decrease in the same proportion. So from the equation of back EMF, from this equation of back EMF, this current can also be replaced in terms of torque. So torque speed torque characteristics is also having the same nature as the previous graph like this. Clear है यहाँ तक के? Yes. Is there any difficulty?
No, sir.
Now next for the DC series motor, same characteristics for the DC series motor. second for DC series motor. For DC series motor, both field winding and armature windings are connected in parallel.
In series.
Yes, field winding and armature windings are connected in parallel. This is the series resistance
Series.
RSD. Yes, any difficulty?
Sir, both are connected in series now.
Yes, both are connected in series across the DC supply. This is field winding resistance and armature winding resistance. Now we have the relation between torque and armature current. Torque is directly proportional to flux into armature current. Now, the field winding current and armature winding current ISE and IA are same for the DC series motor. It means the flux produced by field winding is directly proportional to the armature current. So we can say that flux phi is directly proportional to Ia. So from this relation, we can say that torque is directly proportional to square of armature current. Is it clear? Why it is proportional to square of armature current? Because for DC series motor, the field winding current and armature current, both current are same. So when the current are same, it means the flux produced by field winding is same as flux produced by the armature winding. So we can say that phi flux phi is directly proportional to Ia. So same this flux is replaced by armature current, so torque is directly proportional to square of armature current. Now by using this equation, the torque armature current characteristics will be, this is armature current Ia and this is torque T. So when the armature current is zero, torque is also zero, so it is starts from the origin. When as we are increasing the value of armature current, torque is increases in the square of armature current like this. So it is a characteristics like hyperbole. Now, for the second relation, second characteristics, speed armature current characteristics, we have a relation N is directly proportional to EB upon phi. Now, for the DC series motor, since the value of armature winding and field winding resistance are very small as compared to the shunt motor, the difference in actual voltage and back EMF is very small, can be neglected. So we can consider a back EMF is constant for DC series motor. So we can get the relation is N is inversely proportional to flux phi. If you are taking back EMF is constant, we can say that N is inversely proportional to flux phi. So flux phi is replaced by armature current. So both are directly proportional to each other. So we can say that N is inversely proportional to armature current IA. It means if the armature current increase, speed will decrease. So it will show the relation like this. This is IA, this is N. So when the value of armature current is very small, speed will be high. As the value of armature current increases, speed will decrease. And when the value of armature current is high, speed is small. So it will the speed armature current characteristics for the DC series motor will be like this. So these are the characteristics for DC series and DC shunt motor. Very important topic. These are the relations. By using these relations, we can draw the various characteristics for the DC motor. Like about this characteristic DC for the DC motor, torque armature current characteristics, speed armature current characteristics, and speed torque characteristics for DC series and DC shunt motor. Now we'll take some numerical. Yes, my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
A 240 volt DC series motor takes 40 ampere when giving its rated output at 1500 rpm. Its resistance is 0.3 ohm. The value, full stop, the value of resistance which must be added to obtain rated torque at 1000 rpm. ठीक है, गेट एग्जाम का ही क्वेश्चन है ये. क्या गिवन है इसमें? 240 वोल्ट की एक डीसी सीरीज मोटर है, ठीक है. इट विल टेक्स 40 एम्पियर when giving its rated output at 1500 rpm. थोड़ा सा पहले गिवन डेटा में लिख लेते हैं हम. क्या दिया हुआ है? V इक्वल टू दिया है 240 वोल्ट. टोटल करंट टेकन फ्रॉम द सप्लाई इज 40 एम्पियर. इट्स रेटेड आउटपुट स्पीड दिया हुआ है N1. मैं N1 लिख देता हूँ. N1 दिया हुआ है 1500 rpm. इट्स रेजिस्टेंस टोटल आर्मेचर एज वेल एज फील्ड वाइंडिंग रेजिस्टेंस R दिया हुआ है हमें 0.3 ohm. What we have to calculate here? We have to calculate the value of resistance which must be added in the circuit to obtain rated torque. Same torque, मतलब जो टॉर्क की वैल्यू है उसमें कोई चेंजेस नहीं आना चाहिए, बट स्पीड क्या होना चाहिए? रिड्यूस हो जाना चाहिए अप टू 1000 rpm by increasing the value of resistance in the circuit. So we have to calculate the value of resistance such that the torque should remain constant but the speed is reduced to 1000 rpm. So from this data, देखो हमारे पास रिलेशन क्या है? N is directly proportional to EB upon phi. एक ये रिलेशन है, ठीक है. Since the torque remain constant, इसमें बोला क्या? Torque should remain constant. Torque constant है, it means करंट की वैल्यू कांस्टेंट है. तो जो करंट यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है 40 ampere, this will remain constant in both cases. So when the current is constant, it means flux is also constant. So we can say that N is directly proportional to back EMF. ये relation हमें मिल रहा है. So by using this relation, we have to calculate the value of resistance. So if the if you are taking relation for both the cases, first case as well as second case, so we get N2 upon N1 is nothing but equal to EB2 upon EB1. ये रिलेशन मिलेगा ना. N is directly proportional to back EMF. तो proportionality साइन हम हटा गए. इट मींस बोथ केस में N2 upon N1 करूंगा, इट मींस EB2 upon EB1 हो जाएगा वो. सो अगर मैंने बैक EMF की वैल्यू फाइंड आउट कर लिया, सो वी कैन कैलकुलेट द वैल्यू ऑफ रेजिस्टेंस। सबसे पहले हम बैक ईएमएफ निकालते हैं फर्स्ट केस में EB1। EB1 का फॉर्मूला क्या रहेगा? EB1 is nothing but equal to V minus IA RA plus RAC. This is the formula for DC series motor. तो EB1 इक्वल टू वोल्टेज की वैल्यू कितनी गिवन है न्यूमेरिकल में 240 वोल्ट दी हुई है, माइनस करंट कितना दिया हुआ है 40, ओके, और टोटल रेजिस्टेंस कितना दिया हुआ है 0.3 ओम। तो 0.3 इंटू 40 कितना आता है 240 minus 40, 0.3 into 40 is 4 3 is 12. What is the answer? EB1 equal to कितना आया?
228.
228 volt is the value of back EMF EB1. Now, by using this relation, find out the value of EB2. Find out EB2 की value N2 upon N1 equal to EB2 upon EB1. N2 is 1000. Second case में speed कितनी हो जाएगी 1000 RPM. फर्स्ट केस में स्पीड कितनी थी 1500 RPM. EB1 अभी हमने कैलकुलेट किया 221. There is only one unknown, that is EB2. Find out the value of EB2. EB2 equal to, what is the value of EB2? Tell me the value of EB2. EB2 is equal to N2 is 1000 into EB1 is 228 divided by N1 1500. What is the answer?
Sir, 152 volt.
152 volt. This is the value of EB2. So हमने यहाँ पे EB1 निकाल लिए, EB2 निकाल लिए. Now जो हमने EB2 की वैल्यू कैलकुलेट किया है, by using the value of this EB2, we can calculate the value of external resistance which is added in series with the circuit. So EB2 का फॉर्मूला क्या हो जाएगा? EB2 is nothing but equal to V minus IA.
सर EB2 की वैल्यू 0.5 है, 0.51.
152.
सर नहीं, 0.514. नहीं.
What is EB2? No, it is correct. 152 is correct answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So from the formula back equation of back EMF की equation क्या है? EB2 equal to V minus IA REX. This is external resistance REX plus पहले से कितना resistance है? 0.3 ohm है पहले से, है ना? So EB2 कितना आया हमारा 152 आया है, equal to voltage 240 as it is है. Since the torque is constant, it means current is also constant, वो भी 40 as it is रहेगा. REX हमें फाइंड आउट करना है और टोटल रेजिस्टेंस दिया है 0.3. समझ में आया? ये एक्सटर्नल रेजिस्टेंस हमें फाइंड आउट करना है जिसकी वजह से स्पीड क्या हो रही है 1000 RPM पे आ जा रही है. फाइंड आउट दिस REX. (240 minus 152).
1.9.
External resistance is 1.9 ohm. है क्या ये पॉइंट ऑप्शन दिया हुआ 1.9 ohm? ये दिया हुआ 1.9 ohm का ऑप्शन यहाँ पे आ गया. गेट एग्जाम में आए हुए क्वेश्चन ही है ये. थोड़ा सा मैंने इसको एक्सप्लेन किया इसलिए टाइम लगा है. सिंपली क्या करना है इसमें आपको, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन आवे तो सबसे पहले EB1 EB2 निकाल लो. EB1 का फॉर्मूला क्या है? बैक EMF का फॉर्मूला V minus IA आ रहा है, डायरेक्टली आपको EB1 मिल जाएगा. EB2 अपॉन EB1 इज इक्वल टू N2 अपॉन N1, वहां से आपको EB2 मिल जाएगा और EB2 की इक्वेशंस में ये वैल्यू रखेंगे तो डायरेक्टली आपको REX की वैल्यू मिल जाएंगी. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द सेम टॉपिक. और DC शंट जनरेटर, ठीक है, पहले हमने मोटर का लिया है, नाउ इट इज जनरेटर. और DC शंट जनरेटर delivers 395 एम्पियर at 250 volt. Delivers means जो टोटल करंट सप्लाई को जा रहा है, कितना जा रहा है सप्लाई को करंट 395 एम्पियर, उसका वोल्टेज कितना उस टाइम पे 250 वोल्ट, एंड रेजिस्टेंस ऑफ शंट फील्ड एंड आर्मेचर are 50 ohm and 0.05 ohm respectively. One second. इसी के सामने मैं गिवन डेटा लिख दे रहा हूँ. It is given here. It is a DC shunt generator having V equal to 250 volt. Total supply current is 395 ampere and shunt resistance मतलब RSH equal to दिया हुआ है 50 ohm and field winding correct है ना? Yes. Shunt field resistance is 50 and armature resistance is 0.05 ohm. What we have to calculate? We have to calculate the value of generated EMF. जो ये वोल्टेज कौन सा, ये टर्मिनल वोल्टेज है. P is the terminal voltage, IA is the load current, RSH is the shunt winding resistance, and RA is the armature resistance. So by using this data, we have to calculate the value of internally induced EMF of the generator. So we have a equation, generated EMF की equation in terms of voltage and current is EG equal to V plus IA RA. ये इक्वेशन होती है इंड्यूस्ड ईएमएफ की. जनरेटर है इसलिए प्लस आया है, मोटर में माइनस आता है, वहां पे ईबी लिखते हैं हम, ईबी इक्वल टू वी माइनस आई आगे लिखते हैं, और मोटर जनरेटर के लिए ईजी इक्वल टू वी प्लस आई ए आगे, सिर्फ साइन चेंज हो गया वहां पे. नाउ वोल्टेज तो हमें डायरेक्टली दिया हुआ है, कितना दिया हुआ वोल्टेज 250 वोल्ट दिया हुआ है. आर्मेचर करंट दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे. In this numerical, the value of armature current is not given. So first we have to calculate the value of armature current. जिस कोई डिफिकल्टी है यहाँ तक की?
No, sir.
ना, इसको मैं सर्किट से एक बार एक्सप्लेन कर देता हूँ. See, for the generator, the circuit will be like this. This is armature. Field winding is connected in parallel with the armature circuit, and this is the load. Now here the value of load current is given here. Sorry, what is given here? Total current. The value of total current delivered from the generator है ना? Yes. A DC shunt generator delivers 395 ampere. So it is the total current. One second. Huh?
आज कॉम्प्लीटली